President Donald Trump appeared to confirm Saturday that North Korean leader Kim Jong Un is alive and well. Trump retweeted North Korean state media photos of Kim attending a ribbon-cutting ceremony at the sunken phosphatic fertilizer factory. "I, for one, am glad to see he is back, and well," Trump wrote. This was Kim's first public appearance in about 3 weeks after global speculation over his health. CNN has reached out to the White House for additional information about the president's tweet and whether the White House has authenticated the photos released by North Korean state media. A U.S. official told CNN that the current analysis from multiple threads of intelligence is that the photos published in the last 24 hours by North Korean state media showing Kim at a fertilizer plant opening are legitimate. On Sunday, South Korean presidential advisor Moon Choo-in told CNN that the North Korean leader was alive and well despite speculation about his health. The advisor to South Korean President Moon Jae-in said Kim had been staying in the Wonsan area, on the country's east coast, since April 13, adding, "No suspicious movements have so far been detected." Questions regarding Kim's health were initially raised after he missed the celebration of his grandfather's birthday on April 15. He had been seen 4 days before that at a Politburo meeting, according to North Korean state media, KCNA. North Korea tightly controls any information surrounding its leader, who is treated almost like a deity within the country. His absences from official state media often spark speculation and rumors about his health. North Korea has no free press and is often a black hole when it comes to the country's leadership. Analysts are heavily reliant on scanning state media dispatches and watching propaganda videos for any semblance of a clue. CNN previously reported that the United States was monitoring intelligence that Kim was in grave danger after a surgery, according to a U.S. official. Another U.S. official told CNN Monday that the concerns about Kim's health are credible, but their severity was hard to assess. The news followed initial reporting by Daily NK, an online newspaper based in South Korea that focuses on North Korea, that Kim reportedly received a cardiovascular procedure because of excessive smoking, obesity, and overwork. Meanwhile, a website specializing in North Korean affairs published satellite images last Saturday that researchers said showed a train probably belonging to Kim Jong Un parked at a railway station serving Kim's luxurious Wonsan compound since late April. The North Korean leader is known for frequenting the Wonsan complex, which is served by a railway station nearby. The beachfront area is where Kim spent summers as a child, though he often travels by plane or drives to Wonsan. Poll of the Week. A new Ipsos Reuters poll finds that former Vice President Joe Biden leads President Donald Trump by a 45% to 39% margin. The Ipsos poll is just the latest to find Biden ahead. He's never not been ahead in the polling average. Right now, Biden has an average 6-point lead nationally and is up in key battleground states such as Florida, Michigan, Pennsylvania and Wisconsin. What's the point? The polls clearly show that Biden is ahead and by a larger margin than Hillary Clinton was on the eve of the 2016 election. You might think that would make people believe that Biden is more likely to win, even if it were far from a certainty. Yet, the evidence suggests that Trump's surprising 2016 victory has warped people into believing that Trump has some magic up his sleeve. They don't believe he will lose. An average of recent polls finds that a majority of voters, about 55%, believe that Trump will defeat Biden in the election. Trump's edge on this question has remained fairly consistent over time. A majority or plurality of voters thought he'd be re-elected in a February Fox News poll and a September 2019 Marist College poll. During none of these periods was Trump ahead when pollsters asked voters who they would vote for, not who they thought would win. Historically, the question of who people thought would win had actually been a pretty good predictor. One study even determined that from 1988 to 2012, asking people who they believed would win was more accurate than polls of voter preference of who they want to win. Voters, though, thought that Clinton would beat Trump in 2016. Of course, she did not. Now, it seems Americans have probably overreacted to the 2016 result. they don't trust the numbers that are in front of them. Americans think the polls are underestimating Republicans. You can see this really well by looking not just at the 2020 polls, but the 2018 polling as well. Gallup asked Americans just before that election whether they thought Democrats or Republicans would control the U.S. House after the election. By a 50% to 44% margin, they said Republicans. This came even as Democrats were clear favorites in pretty much every forecast, and when that same Gallup poll showed Democrats with an 11-point lead on the generic congressional ballot. This 2018 poll marked the first time that Americans incorrectly forecasted who would win the House. Americans had previously correctly called every other House election and flip of the chamber in the years Gallup polled, 1946, 1948, 2006 and 2010. For 2020, it seems that Americans are continuing to think that the polls are underestimating Republicans. That may be the case, but it seems like a bad bet given that polls did pretty well in 2018. My advice would be that engaging the electorate, you shouldn't be of the mindset that Trump is going to pull it out if the polls continue to suggest he won't. Even Trump's own polling reportedly has him behind. Trump's a politician, not a magician.